Greetings, vloggers, bloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dynasty at you again this week with another vlog. Before we get started with today's vlogs, I want to mention that I did get a new set of headphones over the holiday because mine were basically exhausted, and they do usually last a year. The standard ones that I buy. I did buy it because I did buy with Amazon. I have a higher quality ones, and I think they're pretty neat. So I may do a review on those because many times I read in online on the autism community in the various forums and groups of what a good set of noise canceling headphones are. Now, while these are specifically wired specifically for computer video conferencing, because I do a lot of that with the things I'm involved in, I feel these were the ones I wanted for that purpose. I may look into other ones in the future, but at this moment, these are what I got for these. So yeah, I will probably do a review of these after this video, and before I upload this video to YouTube, I will include a link to that. It'll be on my website, dustinsdynastyusa.com, and it'll be at the top if you watch shortly after this is posted, but it'll be in there. But I will also include the link to that on this YouTube video page. So, okay, without further ado, we're going to get into this week's topic. And this week, we're going to talk about autistic burnout. And I know you may read about it, you may hear about it, or you may know what it is and not actually know what the term was. And for me, I personally, I knew what I was doing and what it didn't know exactly what it was until recently. I mean, I've heard of it in recent years, but I guess I just haven't accepted it until the need for it until 2022, so to say. But I did look up a definition, and it can be looked up as simply as searching Google, and I will put it on the screen. But autistic burnout is a syndrome conceptualized as resulting from chronic life stress and a mismatch of expectations and ability without adequate supports. It is characterized by persuasive long-term exhaustion and function and reduced toleration to stimulus. And it does happen, but I think autistic burnout, what I prefer to refer as autistic burnout, is more so everyday autistic burnout, and how that plays into a part of what I experience. It's just it's all in what you experience. So yeah, it's just part of what I experience is daily autistic burnout. When we look at it from a daily basis, autistic burnout, is a daily of having to cope as an autistic individual in a world that is not made for us. When you experience, you may be able to function, or you have more sensitivity as the day goes on to stimuli. So it's a big difference. We talk about, a lot of times the mental health community will talk about burnout, but the major difference is more of it's longer lasting, and it can last for weeks or months, but it's not so much, in me, it's just every day, just going through that. And you have to realize, if to prevent it from happening, with the burnout from happening in a more shorter pattern, as I do, as I continually to be, how to recover from it. That's the thing. You have to learn how to recover from, being so burnt out all the time. And it's not just all the time per se. It's more so, within, the time frame of you're just going through life, going through the motions every week. And, as of right now, I have to go through the emotions of life, and understanding, of life as it may be. I mean, it just, it's just hard to bounce back from those things. It's just, it can result, just in being burnt out from things. And, it's chronic, and you're losing your skills, and you have a lower tolerance for stimuli. That's every day. We talk about that, like in the Coke can effect, how we see in younger individuals that are on the spectrum, so to say, that they hold all they mask, and they hold in all their feelings, or their ability to regulate or be their self. And when they come home, they just let it all out. I was one of those persons back in the day, that would, when I was in grade school, I would definitely do that. I would definitely let out those feelings when I came home. And at the time, I was not diagnosed did not officially have an autism diagnosis until I was 13 or 14, but the symptoms were there and we didn't know what they were. But now I realize, as an autistic adult, when I'm doing things that require a lot of skill or a lot of energy, as where I have to pass as a neurotypical person, um, I do realize I have to come home and relax and just relax for like 2 hours. And sometimes I may fall asleep, I may not fall asleep. Even, sometimes I may not have enough sleep in the day to the point where, I will take a nap. And, I had to accept that that's a part of life, that I need to recharge every day, and is necessity to recharge every day and re-regulate and do all those things that are necessary in life to it's not in the DSM-5. So but it's part of the autism. And part of the autism is you have to accept everything with the diagnosis, right? So I had to accept that this is the way it is, that on days when I have to work or go to day program, that I need to come home and I need to unwind, and I need that time to unwind before doing anything else or anything more strenuous that may cause me to have to be posed as a neurotypical person in the world. It's definitely something that is challenging, and not everybody understands that. When I come home, or even when doing social events, with my day program, they may not understand the need that I can't do work for a day and then do a long-term few hour outing, because I'm just so burnt out and so exhausted. It would cause further exhaustion, and it would cause me to react in a way that they would not want me to be. And sometimes life, it throws us you know cards in our lives that are difficult to understand. And when the day gets challenging, it's just more difficult. And it's just I don't know what to say about it. It's just something I've had to accept this past week as part of having, the autism. I think we have to accept many things with being autistic, and that's part of, I've known I've had the diagnosis for over 20 years, but I think it's just the acceptance of, okay, I have autism or Asperger's or whatever you want to look at it from, for whatever lens you want to look from it as. But you have to say, okay, I have this diagnosis, and these things, like taking time for personal relaxation, they're all a part of what my diagnosis is. Having to take medication, all of these things, and I'm doing better with that, by the way. But all of those things, are a part of what the diagnosis is. It's part of being physically and mentally well, being able to regulate your emotions, all of these things, all of these things into one. You have to understand that in life, you have to accept things. It took me a long time to accept some things, and the medication and the burnout for two of the major things. But just I can deal with the noise and other things when out in public. But I need time for me to unwind when I get home, and that may be because of having to nap or having to rest from getting up early in the morning and having to prep to get out the door, even anxiety to get out the door. But that's a whole other subject. Is another rough battle for me sometimes. you know but autism and anxiety are often comorbidities as well. But just having that, even though it's something that you're going to do every day of your life, if you're going to go to work or you're going to go to day program, and you've been going for decades like I have, and you know what to expect, and what's going to happen and what's going to go and flow. But if you're not there all the time to know what's going to go and flow, then how are you going to um understand and be aware of what's going on? So it's all those things combined into a magical, way of thinking, and just understanding all that. It's very difficult to understand. And I don't know how to best explain it, but it's just part of something that I've had to accept. That it's part of, it's not the same as sensory overload, but it is overload sometimes. But you just need to you can't regulate, and you can't and you're not taking care of yourself. For me, that preventing that autistic burnout is the ability to understand the need to take care of myself, and that taking a nap, taking care of what I need to take care of, taking time for me, taking time off for work, like I'm taking off Monday. It's all for part of that self-care plan. Um, you know, you got to prevent, yourself. You got to not be irritable. The medicine helps the irritability for me. So I know I have to take it. And I finally came to terms with that about 12 days ago. And I've been doing well ever since, as you can tell in my blogs. I have motivation to do things. I want to do things now. It's just the want and the want, you know. It feels like you have depression or anxiety, and it feels like you don't want to do nothing. You feel lethargic. You can't ask for help because you're afraid to ask for help. You have memory issues. You have lots of words or you become in selective mutism. You reduce your executive functioning or able to do things. When I'm not in the mood, my apartment's a mess. I can't take care of it. My bedroom's a mess. I just cleaned it up this morning. And it's not that I haven't cleaned it up a long time ago, but I cleaned it up like 2 weeks ago and now it looks good again. And I'm happy and I'm proud about that. I'm excited. It's a good thing. It's a good feeling to be back into the reality. But I'm realizing that in concert with the medication that's prescribed to help me by a psychiatrist, alongside the ability to recognize and prevent autistic burnout by taking naps and taking care of myself on a daily basis from overwhelming of sensory overload and basking as a neurotypical person. um you know to be a neurotypical person, in a world that's not made for us, that's a big deal, and that's a big acceptance for me. I'm able to bounce back from daily tasks, just and not having those thoughts. I think, so much, maybe we'll talk about this next week, is the thoughts of anxiety before going out and doing something like going to work or leaving the house. And it's all about COVID. And I'm learning more about that and how that was very traumatic. But we'll get into that next week, I believe, as we talk about that. So I want to thank you for listening today. I know I kind of ranted on it, but I feel it was something that I had to accept. And I think I needed to share it with my YouTube followers specifically. There's going to be a post about it on Tuesday, I believe, on my blog. So if you follow my blog at Dustin'sDynastyUSA.com, you'll see that come out Tuesday morning. I encourage you to sign up for the email list. So when it'll pop in your inbox early Tuesday morning so you can read it. But with that being said, be sure to like and subscribe this video. Be sure to, again, visit the website, Dustin'sDynastyUSA.com. I want to mention that 988 goes into place in the United States next week. So we'll be talking about that too. How it's going to be it's a nationwide crisis line, replaces the suicide prevention lifeline. So it's a big thing. I know we're talking about it at work. We're talking about implementing it. I'm in the same building. I work in the same building where the hotline will be answered in our county. So it's been a lot of talk. So it's going to be it's a time of transition for a lot of us, but I'm up for it. Also, be sure to talk on follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Dustin's Dynasty, Pinterest and TikTok at Dustin's Dynasty ASD. This vlog will be transcoded into a podcast, and the video version will be on Spotify and all of my other videos. If you visit me on Linktree/Dustin's Dynasty, you will find all my links that you need to find. I want to thank you again for listening. Have a good day, everyone.